Fresh Killer.
What up, tribe? Episode 3 of season 3 of Atlanta was very random, and so even I would say even more random than the average Atlanta episode. In that they go into a house, there's a party, there's supposed to be some investor there, the guy that started the first bank, and random things happen at this location. It reminded me of the Juneteenth episode. A lot of themes being dropped. You have to pull out something that you understand and just really try to go with it. So the themes that were dropped to this episode, there was capitalism, there was racism, how those two things intersect. There was the relationships, like the relationship between Lottie and Ern, and the relationship between the people there and money, the relationship between Black people and white people and Black people and other races, and Black hip hop and UK hip hop and so on and so forth. Just a whole bunch of stuff. There's even the surreal, the supernatural, I should say, because Paperboy is playing in this high stakes game of, I don't know, cards, some card game, poker, I guess. They're playing it, and it had a $20,000 buy-in, and when they're playing, the guy starts talking about there was a black ghost in his house, and he didn't reveal it was a ghost. It was a black figure in his house. Woke up and the alarm wasn't tripped off at all, and it was a ghost, and whatever. I do want to. So look, random. I'm just going to tell y'all what's coming to my dome, straight up. Hey, Mr. Tyree, aka Paperboy, is such an outstanding actor with his face. The things that he does with his countenance, with his facial expressions, are amazing. The way that he can shift from being kind of goofy, not goofy, wrong choice of words, he's never goofy, but the way that he can choose from being kind of derisive and talking, using his words and making fun of somebody or putting someone down, in terms of, because they're playing a game, he was just talking about, oh, you had sex with the ghost, da da da, and he's just using his words, just jab, just cutting at him, you did, and it's just he's getting at him, right? He's getting on him. And once he brings up this thing about, no, don't you believe in ghosts, and it gets deep. And the reason that it's getting deep is because of his face. And wow, he also, in If Beale Street Can Talk, you guys remember that movie, If Beale Street Could Talk, a few years ago? And Mr. Tyree has a role in that. It's the same thing, the way he conveys stress on his face, the way that he can just express so much gravity and so much depth without actually saying a word. He is such a great actor, and he has such a great future, man. I want to see him in more stuff. I want to see him in all of the things. I want to see him win all of the awards. Oh my God. I think that Atlanta, as great of a show as it is, I think that he can be used more. He's dope. Okay, so that part. And then hey man, Lottie been tweaking out. It's been revealed in this episode that Lottie, her mother is concerned about her. She's pushing people in the pool at this party, and Ern is somewhat concerned about her. Do you need anything? She's not really concerned about herself. At the end of the episode, she doesn't answer Ern's call, which is interesting because they had just kicked it all night and she doesn't know anyone else in the United Kingdom. I would assume that she left their child together to spend time with Ern, but maybe she just doesn't want it to be intimate or something like that. I don't know. She says, she alludes to her having to go out to the UK to find herself or something like that, or she needed some time for herself. Okay, I could dig it. I am very intrigued as to see where she goes and what ends up happening to her character and what ends up happening to her and Earn. I feel like they're destined to hook back up, right? Wouldn't you say so? Wouldn't you say so? All right. So that was a trip, but I would say, oh, you know what? Another thing, random, right? It's a random episode. I'm just giving y'all random stuff. Non sequitur. Hey, you know one thing, there's so supposed to be ending after season 4. We're 3 episodes into season 3. One thing that they brought up in the earlier part of the show Atlanta was Ernie was going to an Ivy League school, and I don't know if he got we don't know what happened. But that was, so he's smart. He got into he's smart, but almost like too smart at times. He's not reliable. He's smart. He seems to come from a solid background in the show, but like he just makes very poor decisions all the time. But I want to know what happened with this Ivy League situation. I trust the journey. I trust that they will reveal that at some point. Okay. Money, the consistent thing on this UK trip is they just continue to just blow money that this can't work, this can't last. Paperboy lost $40,000 and that he actually won. He won the game, but the guy didn't pay him. The guy like went off to bed and Paperboy cuts down a tree. Random stuff. He cuts down a tree, I guess, and steals some Nando's chicken on the way out. I don't know. Somebody in the comments make sense out of that for me. Maybe it wasn't supposed to make sense, but whatever. From what I understand, the guy owed him $40,000 because he won the game. The guy didn't pay him, and then he tried to chop down a tree. And also he stole a lot of Nando's chicken because they had that in the house in the big mansion, and then they ran out. But he didn't get the 40,000 from what I don't think I only saw it once. Y'all let me know, did he get I'm pretty sure he didn't get the 40K. So they're like losing money. They're just losing money consistently. And Ernie, so at the end of last season, it was 4 years ago, but I can recall Ernie was on thin ice, to use a cliche, because Paperboy is about to fire him because he kept messing up. And at this point, it just seems like somehow like Paperboy is no longer has expectations for Ernie, or maybe because Paperboy's in such a bad point and asking for a lot of money that he's so flawed and in such a bad place that he can't see that he has a bad manager. So Paperboy is blowing through heck of money, and Ernie is enabling him instead of like checking him, talking to him, pulling him aside. It's just a strange dynamic. It seems as though it's headed for It seems as though it's headed for disaster. Okay. Hey, I want to talk about the theme that was really that the episode centered on to me. The theme that resonated with me the most was this encounter that Darius had with an Asian woman, and he comes up to her and he's like, "Excuse me," and she says, "Oh no, I'm already engaged, I'm in a relationship." He says, "No, I wanted you to pass that bottle." She's like, "Oh," and she gets all off into her thing, and then she says, "I thought you wanted to you were trying to get at me because Black men love Asian women." And he was like, "No, that's not it at all." She says, "I lived in LA for a second. It's the fact they love." And so they kind of have this little banter, like, well, it makes sense. He says, "You guys love hip hop. We love anime, ha ha ha, whatever." They have this joke. It's over. Okay. A white guy comes in. He's like, "I heard that. Man, that's really racist, man. That's not right." He's He's like, nah, it's cool. Nah, man, it's really racist. And so through the episode, he tells his white friends, Darius keeps saying it's all good. They, no, man, no. So they go on this whole white guilt thing, as was explained later on in the episode. But oh my God, that was what really brought me in, because I am in the San Francisco Bay Area, and somehow white people have internalized the notion that it's on them to tell you what hurts you and what offends you, and they need to protect you and think for you and stand up for you, because Lord knows you can't do it on your own. Oh my goodness, this liberal version of racism is so harmful. And she gets it at the end. There's some encounter. They really get on her. You hear it, but you can't see it. And she comes in and they like, hey, that's her. And there Darius is looking on like Jada Pinkett Smith at the Oscars. But it just, I've encountered that so many times when I'm just like, bro, it's cool. Like, no, bro. It's just, oh my God, you're trying to prove that you're not racist by totally taking away my agency and my ability to interpret what hurts me and what's worthy of confrontation. And it's rooted in this sense of like superiority. Like, no, you didn't get that. I did, because I'm white. But it's functioning so deep in their subconscious that they don't realize how offensive they are being in trying to take offense for you. My goodness. So for the most part, this episode was a filler episode. I want to see what's going to happen next in terms of the relationship between Ern and his ex-girlfriend, partner, baby mama, party, whatever. Him and I want to see what's going to happen with them. I want to see what's going to happen with Ern and Paperboy. I want to see how they're going to sustain themselves when the money runs out, because the money's definitely going to run out quick at this rate. And man, that's all I got, man. But once again, it was a thematic jambalaya, y'all. I want to hear what you guys thought about the episode, man. Drop something in the comment section, please. And if you haven't already done so, pretty please, subscribe to the tribe and tell your mama, tell your aunties, your uncles, your partners from around the way, your homeboy you grew up with, to subscribe to the tribe as well. Peace, tribe.